So in this class, we'll talk a little bit about the workflow of modeling and now using the modeling of a box modeling. And that consists about you modeling throughout a box, okay? So I will delete here this light and this camera, and through this box, this cube, here we call cube, you can understand as a box from 3D Max. I will scalonate with SY and bring it a little bit to here, and SX bring it this size too. SZ I can increase a little bit like this. In the frontal view I will rotate RZ90 and I will increase the position so that it's on the top of the line, on the top of our floor. And I'll press Ctrl A, apply scale to apply the scale that we just transformed here. We don't have to model this in Max because the procedure is the same, the workflow is the same, so we don't have to. But then you can have as a homework, you can send us the modeling in both softwares so that you can practice, but it's not the case here. It's just repeat a process and make things long, and the objective here is to learn about Blender, not Max. So initially, I'll come to the edit mode. I'll get this edge, GZ. I'll bring it a little bit to the top. Okay, but before doing this and already predicting what I will need on front, I'll press Ctrl R and have this line on the middle here. Now I'll get this here and bring it here to the top more or less. Okay, and we are not modeling for no reason. There is a concept art here, and that would be this here. Okay, it was a class from Digital Tutor. I will even save to you on the files of the course, and I will put here as there's even the name of the course because it was the name was the Max 3D Max course, but it's a long time ago, so I will put it here as reference container, just that. We will do this here. And we are creating from the cube, and let's do like this. As I already know how it's the model there, I won't be looking there, but you can also go back here, go back there to have as a reference, okay? And let's do it like this. I will increase here, and this button, all this panels has the same button on the top that I can exchange to other panels. So I can come here and go to Image Editor. It will transform in this panel here, and I can scroll the mouse on here, just press the scroll or pull on the same that we do in Max, and I can click and open, go to the files of the course to get that image that ended up not being on the file of the course. These three are out, so I just move inside of the file, the folder, and it's not here. Let me do it again. No, it's not going. Ctrl X, and I paste it here. No, it's not happening. Okay, not a problem. I'll get my container, and it's open right here, and I'll keep it right here. With the scroll of the mouse I can move, and I can keep it here, taking out this hand and these other things that I don't want. Let's just leave it this way. Let's leave in a view that I can see all the time and use as a reference. Okay, it's very nice, right? In Max there is a similar function that it's a little window that goes floating. It's basically the same idea. In case I wanted to have a window floating, it's just come here to the Windows menu and have the option of, let's see what that is. I think it's this one here. And then there is a new window I can define as whatever I want. I can even define as this shape here. I can rect this here. And in here I can put my image. It's already loaded here, so I just get it here. Then it's just decrease this and leave it floating here. Same way you would do in Max. but I don't know if it will be on the top. So you click on the right button. We don't have this option. Yes, it go vanishing here. Have to go back and click. So it doesn't work. So that's why it's better to do this way. But let's go. I will press Ctrl A, apply scale. It's a good practice to always do that. And in here, I'll get this line, Alt click, it does the looping, G, Z, and bring it to here. To here. And here I press Ctrl R, bring it to the top. Or even to here, more or less. And I'll press Ctrl Shift Tab, and it will open a panel of snaps that floats, and I can click in vertex, G, Z, go to the top. With the Ctrl press, I can click on the top of these vertices. It will do the snap of the vertices correctly. Now this one here, I have the vertices active. I can get this and this. I press G, Z, and bring on the vertices here, okay? Now I press Alt click, press GG, bring it to here, on the way of the edges. More or less in here. The idea was to come very correct, but it didn't, so I will solve it with Ctrl plus, and I'll do like this. I'll put in the lateral view. I'll select everything with the A. I come to my mesh, bisect, and I will trace from here to here. And in here, visually, it's the best way to keep a position that it's equidistant. In case it's not, I can come to the rotation, the position, and adjust in the way that I want according to my need, okay? And now it's nice. I can go down a little bit, GZ. And here with the tool of selection of faces, I can give a Ctrl Alt click on the top of this line. It does the looping. And I press ED insert. And in here, it insert very small, and in here so small that it's 0, and the depth I can increase so that it grows to the sides in an equal distance, okay? And now in this one on the inside, I can press delete faces. Actually, I won't delete. I'll press the ED insert here, very small, and I will press E, Z, and do extrusion to the inside. Press Z in case if it's getting out of the axis, and now here I will press SZ0, and it will plan here that it's equivalent to the plane axis of the 3D Max. Alt Z to see in the X-ray, GZ, adjust better the distance, more or less this way, Alt Z. I already have this here, okay? And our container, it's starting to show. Now here in the middle, I have these segments here that I will solve. This here I won't need, and I put a line here, 2, 3, 4 lines. Okay, 4 lines here. Okay, so Ctrl R, I put here 4 lines, more or less in this way. In here I press Ctrl R in the middle, and accept this information, Ctrl B, I bring it to here, more or less in this distance. And here, same thing, lateral view, Ctrl R, Ctrl B, it's not gonna work because it will distort if I give it a Ctrl B here. Actually, it didn't, or maybe didn't. Let's see, on the top it's a little distortion there. So Ctrl R, I'll bring it manually, Ctrl R, I do a touch, and it's free for me to move. I move to here, more or less, in the way I think it is. It's not a similar distance. I can bring more, GG, and I can just correct better the distance. Now, in this face, I'll get this face, but it's inclined, so I'll press this looping, SZ, Same thing here, Alt click does the looping, and here I press Shift R, so it will repeat the command. It's repeat the last, Shift R, and now I get all of them with the Shift Alt click, GZ, bring down, SZ, bring a little together, and now it's already nice. I get this here and here, and this here, okay, so that we can do these details here on the side. So let's go, make things faster here, okay, and then here I can do a Alt E and extrude long normals and bring here, but you can see that some parts it's bigger and thinner in some other parts than the other. I could mark the offset even and adjust, and it's good enough to do this way. We already have our result here. Now let's go to these things in the middle. I have 1, 2, 3. I will press Eat Insert. I press I again, and there's insert, a local insert. I will do again to do this bevel inside. So Eat Insert. Okay, and now in the depth I will bring it inside, and now in the offset I will decrease a little bit more here. Okay, more or less like this. In case it's not exactly how it is the reference, here it doesn't show so much, so I press Ctrl plus to do a glow, and here I will just point the point, and I can mark in this panel individual origins, and then when I press SZ it will decrease individually each one. Okay, SX, decrease everything individually, and I already have my details small, exactly like on the reference. A little bit as most close to that as possible. I will decrease a little bit more, SZ, okay, just to be more similar to the reference. Would be something like that. Now let's go to this details on the lateral like this. It's very simple. We go to the lateral view and we will press the 3D cursor is here, so I will just Shift A, Mesh, Cube, and then here this cube I'll press GZ, bring it to here, SZ, I decrease in this moment, and you can see that it's basically on the large of this here. It goes almost nothing out, on the same size as well. And now GY, GX, I bring it to here, SX, I decrease in here, okay, GX, I touch in here, and it's basically this. I go SY, decrease a little bit more, and to touch it here with precision we will do like this. I'll go GX, gets a little distance, Ctrl Shift Tab, I can just click with by faces, and with the Ctrl press I can click in the lateral of the container and it will glue there. Apply scale, get it to the edit mode of it, I get to the selection by edge, I get this edge here and this other on below, get this and this, and I'll give it a bevel here. There's a slightly bevel, it's slightly round, so we'll do the same. So Ctrl B, this way. I roll the scroll of the mouse to give it a little round, basically like this. The selection of faces, I get this in this, and I'll press Eat Insert, creating this special. And in here, I will join this with this other. Now Ctrl E of the bridge, and it does like this. And we already have this model. In case I think it's too large, we can get the edges here, get into the X-ray mode. I get this edge here, I get off of the X-ray mode, and I decrease a little bit more easily. Okay?
Now let's do this little triangles here, and for this I will Shift A, plane, or X 90. I will GX, bring it to the outside. S, I decrease in here. G, Z, I bring it to here. Okay. G, Y, I bring it to here. And now in here, I get to the edit mode of it. I get this too, and bring it to here. Let's do it here. G, X, bring it here. It's glued there. S, Z, it's a little bit. And now here, I will get this two here, M, and I'll do like this. If I put here at center, it comes to the middle, and there is a space here I don't want. So I will do like this. I'll press this first, Shift press the other, I press M. And now this way there's other options here because I did this, clicking first on one and then the other. And I will press at least, and now it already correct for me. And here I can apply a solidify, that it's the shell, the same thing that we have on Max, and it's this. We are reviewing everything that we already saw in the course. Now I put a thickness, and to duplicate I can put an array. I can bring it here, not in this X, and not in the X, not in the Y axis, is in the Z. I bring it negative to here, to here. In here on the count I can put another. I already have 3 there. I put it here correctly. I can give it a Control A to apply. Let me see. I need to apply in here, Control A, and I can apply Control A in here as well. And now I will press Object, Origin, Origin to Geometry, so we have the middle of both. So I get this here, go to Edit, Modify, and I can add a symmetry or a mirror. But I don't want any of this axis here. I want to do like this. I want to choose with this dropper the object that I want to have as reference to my mirror. So I click in this object, and now it will do the mirror, but I need to access the axis, and I want the Z axis, and now it's already in the correct position. Control I, Control I apply the modifier, Control J to do the attachment, and now I will mirror to the other side as a reference to this object. So I select here, add modifier symmetry or mirror. I put the dropper, I click on the middle of this, and now it's not there. But now I can click on the Y, and now yes, it's there correctly. That's it. Very nice. Now it's just go to the modeling of the little feet that are like little wheels and the lid. Then it's not hard to do it. I will just change to the random mode so that we can see better. Or maybe not. I will leave in the normal. That's the object. But I will enable my shadow and my cavity so that we can see very marked here everything, okay? And let's do these little tires, these little wheels here. I'll press Shift A, I drag a plane, and now with this plane I will show you an option here in Blender that it's similar in Max, that it's the matter of isolate or modo solo of an object, and for that I can press the bar of the numeric keyboard, and it's already isolate. I can press RX90 to be on front, and I press 1 to go to the frontal view. In case you don't want to change the view and you don't know what it is, you can come to View and Viewport, Viewpoint, and you have frontal, back, and right, left, and the shortcuts correspondingly. Okay, so in here I'll do like this. I'll select this 2 on the bottom, I press E of extrusion. In Z, I bring it down. Now EZ again. Okay? Now what will I do? I'll give it a Ctrl R with 3 subdivisions here, okay? And I'll get this 2 here, G, X, I bring it to here. Making this shape here. Now I get this tool. Let me go back this here, a little down. Now get this 4, G, Z, I bring slightly. Get off the selection of this with the Ctrl, G, Z, bring it to here to give it a little round and hit this part. Now this too, I can press G, X, or just S. It won't change, so I press, I'm giving a connect with those, so I press J, and it does this junction here. So I will get this 2 again, and G, Z, S, leave like this, more or less. I'll select everything. I'll give it a E insert. I bring it to here. It's in individual mode, so I can just press so it go back to the standard. I will reinforce this here, and I'll put a subdivision surface so not to be too distorted. I will apply just later. And let's reinforce more this model. Here, I got this one in the middle, and I will create, for example, another cut in the middle. I'll get this one here, Control click on a face, so that to do this here, right button, loop tool, circle. So it creates this circle here. I can R rotate to here, and the X, Z, not really on the Y axis, to orientate better here, E insert again, delete, face. And I have this hole here where I will have my little wheel. I can apply a solidify now with the special, little special, okay? Oops, a little special, not that much. The thickness, I always need to tell you that it's the negative, the positive, not the negative, in case I need to move it around. This one, I will select this middle part. Let's see if it will allow me to select this here. It won't. So I need to apply this, Ctrl A. And here in the editor mode, Alt click. Now it does the looping. And I can press E insert. Put a very small insert just to reinforce this cloth so that I can apply a subdivision surface with more tranquility. I can do a little reinforcement here, another reinforcement there, and the same thing on the top, more or less this way. Okay? Before I do this and apply the solidify, I should do some other things here, but let's try to do it now, since we didn't do it before. But it would be basically to get this part here to do an extrusion. Would be better in the other mode, but it's an extrusion here. That won't be nice. At least I need to put another cut here to reinforce better, put another one here, and delete this face. Let me get all this face here. Let me enable the modifier not to be too heavy. I get this front. and delete faces. Okay. And here I will apply a mirror. That is the symmetry. On the axis Z. When it has out, I have two options. First, let me duplicate it. Let me show for you some options. First would be to turn off here the modifier and this little screen here. And work in my pivot point in this point. It's like Shift S, cursor to selected, and now object origin to 3D cursor. I bring it to there, enable again. Now voila, it's already did it correctly. Another possibility would to go to the edit mode, A to select everything, G, X or Y. I bring it manually to here and to the position here that I want, and then done. It's the same. So you can choose each way you think it's better. In this one here, I will enable the clip. And now G, Y. It's glued there. Ctrl A to apply. Select everything with A, M by distance. That is the common weld. And I didn't need to remove anything. From the top view, get this here, give it a Ctrl R, and get this the middle. Ctrl click on the face, right button, loop tools, circle. And then here, you'd insert. Let me give it a S because it's too big. You'd insert. And I will pull up, extrusion to the top. In case it's too weird, you can just press Z again, that it will be blocked on the axis. That will be in this way right here. Ctrl R, bring the edge looping here to sustain the base, and I already have this. It's an extraction of a cloth cylinder that we saw. And now here I have the point that will have my tire. It doesn't have this hole, but I will leave it because I want it. On the frontal view, it is this way that it has. I will press Shift A and I'll push Mesh Cylinder. I come to the properties of it and I mark that I want a line, not to the world, but to my view. And then it comes to here. Now G, I bring it to here. S, I escalonate. I come to here. S, Y, I decrease in here. G, Z, I bring it to here. And I already have my little tire. And I can bring it to here and align to the pivot point very correctly in the center. S, Y, I decrease a little bit more. And let's work in this. Ctrl A, apply scale, get to the edit mode. I will start pressing here because it's a little slow. Hit insert, bring it to here. I'll press Alt E, extrude along normals. I can pull inside here just a little. S, hit insert, and here I press Alt E, extrude along normals, and now I pull outside slightly. S, and now hit insert. Let's see how it is. Hit insert one more time. Alt E, extrude along normals, and I bring it to here till it comes out on the right axis here. You can see that it's repeating on the same thing because I pressed Alt E, that was extruding along the face. And now I can press S here, and press S, escalonate to block in here. And it's like the little block it has, okay? Little lock, okay? And I can even put a detail here, Alt E, just here, okay? And it's done. Alt E, put it inside a little bit, okay? And I have this detail there that maybe it's too much, but it's good. So G, X, Y actually, bring a little bit to here. Okay, same thing on the other side. Get it here, G, Y, touch here, and it's done. This tire, I can leave it this way, or I can make it round, Ctrl R, with 2 loopings, G, Y. I bring a little bit to there, S, Y. It's not coming because I am in the mode of the point, and I can take out of individual, mark point, and now yes. And here I press S, give it a scale to make it smooth better, this little tire. So take a look of our result. Very nice, very cool. And here I can even get this edge on the other side as well, and give it a slightly bevel, more or less this way. I can apply a Ctrl 2, subdivision surface, right button, shade smooth, and there it is, our tire. Very nice. Tell me the truth. I'm not just confirmed with this here that it's a little thin. So I can get here the faces, this face is here. I can click on the first, and with the Ctrl Shift press, I can click on the other, and it does this looping here. Same thing, press Ctrl Shift press, and I just go clicking on the extremities from one part to the other, and it's already getting for me in a better way. I can press GZ, bring a little bit here, S, SX, I bring it to here. Okay, and then I correct a little better this here. Now this won't be seen, so I can delete faces. Okay, and that's it. I already have my little feet. I get off of the edit mode, actually the isolate mode from with the bar. I can S, decrease. Oops, I need to solve everything. So let me enable the subdivision surface in this here. Ctrl 2. No, it's good. So let me join both. And now it's a little smooth and everything. It's very nice. I will decrease here S of scale. Okay. And let's come to the model. And you can see that when we did the line, there's these details for us that are very necessary for us to apply here. The insert. Let me give it a Ctrl Z to enable in the point, individual point. Let me embark here so that I can see better. I can press Eat Insert. Now Eat Insert once more. And now with the depth, I can increase here and decrease here, creating this little feet here. Oops, something happened here. Eat Insert once more. Increase the depth. Okay. It's done. Or feet. Now it's just get on the frontal view, I get this here and put exactly here. But before that, let me get this top here of it with the vertices mode. Shift S, cursor to select it. Shift S, cursor to select. Okay, now object, set to origin to 3D cursor. Okay, Alt Z. Alt Z to get off of the X-ray mode. And then I'll put it right here. Okay? I put the cursor there, the X is there so that I can decrease and increase and it won't get off of the mode, the point. I'll leave it a little bit like this. I want a very large one because I model it. So I wanted to have it a big size so that I can see it better in this orientation, but it's on the other side. And let me just G, Y, bring it to here, and I align here. Maybe I can embark to see better. And now here I will define the position if it's correct. It has to come a little bit more. GY, bring it to here. Now, yeah, it's cool. I can just duplicate the little feet to the other side of my model. You can see that it's getting very nice, right? Very cool. And here I will apply again the mirror, get the dropper, and I can just have my container, and there it's already on the other side correctly. I can mark here the Y, and the others are in the right position there as well. And it's this way here. And here it doesn't have the feet, I don't know why, so let me isolate it. And it's missing one feet there. So, you know what I will do? I will get here this face, Ctrl plus to have outgrown, and I will Shift D, right button, leave it on the place, and I bring G, Y, bring it to here, more or less in here, delete this face here, okay? And in this, I press L, select all the looping, all the element, and now I will G, Y, bring in the same position, G, Z, bring a little bit to the top, and I will do like this. I get this looping, decrease a little bit, get this looping here, give it a Ctrl E, bridge, okay? And now get to the X-ray mode, get all of this on the top. Let me get on the vertices mode. I put on the view frontal view. Let me see, there's a slightly crash. It crashed a little bit, let's wait. And it seems like it is blocked, so let's just wait a little bit. That it's because I have cavity on and it's getting heavy every time the model it's getting more complex. So it's very it's good if you take into consideration the power of your machine before you go enable resources, effects inside of the 3D program. So far, it didn't have a way. Let's wait a little more, and anything we can correct and do some adjustments in the modeling. And in this meantime, I will get a water. I will grab a glass of water. Okay, so on the frontal view, I will press Alt Z. I will get just this, just my edges here, and I can even unselect this other. I press B, and now I can select there. Now here I will press G, Z, bring very close, and done. Alt Z. I can get off of the isolation mode, and now it's there, my wheels, everything correctly. In case I don't want to have in the same position all the wheels, I would have to apply these modifiers with the Control A. It's another way to click on the arrow and click apply. I'll come to the edit mode of each one of them, to the edit mode of, and I will press L, L, and then R, Z, and change the orientation, okay? But I won't do this. If you want, you can do there. I will disable the shadow and cavities. There's too heavy. Then it's lighter for me. And here in our container is ready. It's just missing the lid if we want. I don't know if I do, if I don't. I will do the lid just to leave everything round. So let's go. I will press here Shift S, cursor to selected on the middle of the object, a Shift A, mesh plane, have the plane, GZ, bring it to here, S, SX, okay. Lateral view with the 3, I can put R, rotate to here, G, ZZ, bring it to here, okay. And now G, Z, bring it to here. We do this to align according, and now here S, Y, Z, and it decrease on the right direction S, X, X, same thing here, okay. Here I'll press Ctrl R, get into the mode of edit mode. I will delete this part, delete vertices. We'll just have one side because we'll do just one side and do the symmetry on the other side. We don't have to redo everything. Now apply scale, get to the edit mode. I press A, now press E, Z, Z, bring to here. Align to the normal, and here I press Ctrl R, apply some add loopings, more or less here, and here I get this, I get the other, I jump one, get the other, more or less this way. Okay, let me see how it is on the reference. It's slightly different, so I'll do like this. I'll get this line, jump one, get the other, and I'll get this here, Ctrl B, more or less this way. Okay, now I will get Ctrl R here, more or less in here. Selection of faces, I get, let's see how it is. I get this, 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 and this here. I believe in here it's a Ctrl R as well on the top. Then I go back to the face. Different from Max, Blender doesn't keep the selection. You have to do it again, unfortunately. Eat insert, more or less in here. Here I enable the depth, and I decrease here the thickness, and I give it a Ctrl R again, more or less in here, because this and the last one it has another insert, and I will increase the depth. Would be like this, more or less, in the model. I can Control Shift click in here, in here, and in here. Here also in this other, so that I can apply insert. It won't be nice, so I will take this others here. Now it will happen. Hit insert. Now I do the same process only on this other here, that is the small one. Hit insert. Okay. It reinforces this here for me. I can reinforce also this part. I press Hit insert. Okay. I'll do the selection. I'll press Ctrl Alt. I click on the line and it does the looping. I believe that you already understood this idea. And here I will pull these details, and I'll get here the selection of faces, and I will get, needs to be inside, so I'll get 2, 2, 2, and here it's out. Let's see how it is. Yeah, it looks like it doesn't need there, but I will get just this one. I'll get the 2. Now just get 1. I'll give it an insert. Okay, now extrude. Align to the orientation, to the X. And now here, S, Y, Y. Orientated here as well. More or less this way. With the selection edge control, I get manually. Get this edge a little bit. It's fast. I'll get this here. Nice. Control B. And I'll bring it to here. Almost when they touching itself, I do a little rotate and I already have this here round. It's not exactly the same way we have there, but it will be like this. And here I could do a little hole to put this est, but I don't need to do it. I can just select this face here, Shift S, cursor to selected, and here Shift A, mesh, cylinder, orientated on my BU, scalinate in here. It's not very well orientated, so I'll press R, and now Alt R will reset the orientation. Now RX 90, RZ 90. Okay. Now I'll press S, decrease in here, and now EX, bring it to here, get to the edge of rotation. Now GX, leave it, bring it to here, more or less on the other side of the container. I can pass a little bit. It's done, but I need to make it thinner, so S, Shift Z. Oops. S, Shift Z, decrease in here, and it's a little distortion, so S, Shift Y, decrease slightly, get to the edit mode of it, Alt S, so it will decrease and pass correctly. G, Z, Z, oops. YY, bring it to here. Okay, so that's it. It's there, applied there, but it should be to the other side of the container, and it didn't, so EX, bring to this part. It shrink there when I decreased. But we get this other part, it's very weird, so we need to do on the X-ray mode to have this other side. So G, X, bring it to here, and that's done. Now it's just a question of duplicating this lid, but before I will get here all this border, all this. I will change to edge. Give it a Ctrl B. It won't work because I have two cuts here. So this here, I will press G, Z and bring it to here. This other I will press first, Ctrl Shift click. On the last one, it's getting the last segment, Ctrl B. And I do this little round on my lid so that it's a little cutest. So it's just a question of mirror to the other side. So I come here, mirror, and I get the container as a reference. Oops. Have the container in the y-axis and it's done. Get to the edit mode. I can adjust everything. S, X, decrease just a little so that there is a little division between the two lids. And it's done. Our model very correct. I can, if I want, get all this part here. Control click here. Let me see where it is. Hit insert and increase here a little bit more so that it gets a little off from the lid as it is in the reference there. And there it is, our model. Very nice, very cute. I'll put in the random mode and there it is. I can just do a little head here like we have there. But I don't know if I will do. I will do. That's very fast. Just get this face. Get the other face. Because I'll do the same, both sides on the same time, simultaneously. And for that, you already know, Alt E, extrude along normals. I bring to here, more or less. Alt click. Go to the other side. Alt click also here with the shift press. And now it's just Alt E, extrude along faces and hit insert. It's done. Our model there, very correct, like it is there. Now S, X. Let me send to the middle, origin to object, S, X, and I can rotate better. I can even select Alt S. Won't work, so get into the edit mode. And now, yeah, Alt S to make a little thicker, okay? More or less like this. SX, so that it goes out a little bit, and it's done. Our container. In case you want to open the door just to finish, I need to do an apply here. And the edit mode, you can select here, select L, and it will get all the vertices. And I'll press P, separate. And now I have both separated, to the lid separated. I come here to this one. I get this looping, for example, this edge and this edge, and this edge. Or I can get this face on inside with this other. Shift S, cursor to selected, and I can give it a, and when I press R, X, it will open and close correctly. Okay, do the same to the other door, and it's done. There it is, our model. I already saved there. I will save it again. Save as, with the name as container in the files of the curse. Okay, it's there. I'll save again, and it's done. And here I can go back to my outline. I don't need the image anymore. Ctrl S to save what I just did. And now it's just, I will mark the object mode. I have this Mac tab here, this Mac apps, that I can see my model and some other cloths. Look how nice. Let's choose a very nice one. Looks colored. No. Too decorated. This way, what do you think? Looks like a metal, right? Very nice. Cool. Let me see another one. It's cool, right? You can see the reflex, the brightness. I can choose any other here in case I want. And it's just exchanging and changing until you find one that you like. Okay, I will leave in this green one. Usually the containers are green. Tell me the truth, it's a very nice model, right? Look, these wheels look so nice. So this is modeling, it's patience, it's perseverance. Don't give up, because there's some moments that you'll be very frustrated. But relax, try to do something else, and then you can come back and take the wheel again and start modeling. You saw the process of modeling in the Mox modeling to the model here. And here it's very rigid. I can apply a bevel on all of it. 2 or 3 segments, and it gives this slightly round. It gets better on the edge, so not to be too hard. Okay, as I'm saving for you, I will enable the cavity and the shadow so that you can see that your computer, your computer is good. And that's it, our container. Very nice, right? So Shift S to save again. And I'll leave it at this angle that I think it's nice. Shift S, and that's it. In the next video, we will continue to our curse.